In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the front lower ball joints on this GMC Sierra. These are going to be located in the front lower control arms behind the wheels. Let's get into it. Now we're going to take off the wheel. Use a 22mm socket to take the lug nuts off. Remove the wheel. We're going to take the caliper and the caliper bracket off together and out of the way. We're going to take these two bolts out, use an 18mm socket. I'm going to grab the caliper and bracket. Then we're going to take a brake caliper hanger and just hang the caliper out of the way. We're going to remove the rotor, remove this screw, use a T30 socket, take the screw out, grab the rotor, slide it off. If it doesn't come off that easy, you want to hit in these locations with a hammer. Take that off. Now we're going to take the axle nut off. Use a 36mm socket. Pull that off. Pull the washer off. Now I'll just take a punch. Just give the axle a tap. Make sure that's loose. That's good. You can see the wire that goes to the wheel speed sensor. I'm going to use a trim tool. Just get underneath the little retainer here. Pop this up. It's a little bit easier to disconnect. You can see there's a little lock on here. Just use a pocket screwdriver. Push that back and push down on the tab. And disconnect the connector. Pop that out. This retainer, we'll just pop this one up. Get underneath there. And then one more retainer over here. Just pop this out. Just using the trim tool. That's loose. Now we're gonna loosen up this nut using an 18mm wrench. And you can switch to a ratchet wrench, make it a little easier. 18mm. And just get that so it's finger tight. Just leave a couple threads on there. That's good. There's different front end tools you can use to try to separate the ball joint from the knuckle. We're just going to give it a tap with a hammer. If you use a pickle fork, you got to be careful because you're probably going to rip the boot. So if you need to reuse the upper control arm or the ball joint, then you don't really want to use a pickle fork. So there we go. That popped up. That's good. Before we separate this, we're going to loosen up the lower ball joint, pop that from the knuckle, and then take the tie rod off. Using a 24mm socket, we're going to loosen this nut for the lower ball joint. Want to leave a couple threads. That's good right there. We're going to separate the ball joint from the knuckle. We're going to use a pickle fork. There is different front end tools you could use. There we go. That's separated. Now we're going to disconnect the tie rod from the knuckle. There is a cotter pin on this vehicle, so I'm just going to use some side cutters to take the cotter pin out. Now using a 21mm socket, we're going to take this nut off. Now you can use some different front end tools to try to separate this. I'm just going to use a puller that lines up. that. Set that aside. The knuckle is still supported by the upper control arm, so we're going to take the nut off for the lower control arm. It's good right there. Now using a pry bar, just pry down on the upper control arm. You can go through the coil spring. And we'll take this nut off. Take that off. Put that down. And slowly release the tension on the upper control arm. Slide the knuckle out. Push the axle in. Slide the axle out and pull it off the lower ball joint. Just going to take the axle, move this out of the way. You can go over the sway bar link, and that'll just sit right there. If that doesn't work for you, you can always use a bungee cord or a tie down strap. Just pull that out of the way, and that's fine. I'm going to clean up this area with a wire brush. It's pretty rusty. If yours isn't this rusty, you can skip this step. On the old ball joint, there's some areas where it's peened over. We're just going to take a die grinder and just grind those areas down. Otherwise, it's going to be harder to push it through with the press. Just grind those off. You could also try using a chisel and just try to hammer them back, but this is a little quicker and easier. Now we're going to use a ball joint press. Use the correct cup underneath. You want a cup that is bigger than the ball joint, so when you press it through, it can actually go in there. This cup just happens to have the open side, which it doesn't matter. There's nothing to grab onto there anyway. Sometimes the ball joint is in there pretty good if there's a lot of rust buildup. So what we're going to do is we want to get the ball joint started before we can use the press. We're going to lower the vehicle down and just put a jack stand under the control arm, and then we'll try hammering this out. But if you just try to hammer it out now, the control arm has a little bit of give, and the only thing really holding it in is the shock. So we want to just lower it down so that it's a little more supported. That's a little more rigid. Now just take a hammer, just give it a couple taps. So I was able to get it to move a little bit, so I'm going to go back to the ball joint press and just get a cup that fits. Tighten this down. So you might need a combination of both a hammer and a press. Tighten this down. All right, you can see it's pressing it out. Once it starts moving good, then it goes a lot quicker. And a lot easier. And at this point, you could even use the air hammer. Just pop this out the rest of the way. There we go, popped it right out. Now we're going to put the ball joint in, the new one. You can clean up this area a little bit. You could use a wire brush if it's pretty rusty. With the new ball joint, we don't want to rip the boot, so we're just going to use a straight blade screwdriver. We'll just pop the boot off temporarily. Now we're going to install it the opposite of how we took it off. You're going to have a cup here bigger than that opening and a cup here It's just small enough to go around the ball joint, and we'll push it up. Put that on top. Just make sure it's centered. That looks good. Just tighten it up. Just make sure there's no gap right there. Looks good. Take the cup off. Now I'll take the boot. I'm just going to use the cup. Get it close. And just tap the boot back on, that way we didn't ruin it. Take the snap ring, use some snap ring pliers, and just push it over the top. Make sure it's in the groove all the way around. That looks good. Just take the axle, just move it over here. Now you can reinstall the knuckle. Now take the knuckle, get this lined up. We're going to put in the ball joint first, or a combination of the ball joint and the axle. Just kind of rock it back and forth a little bit. Take the nut. Get the nut started on the lower ball joint. And get the upper ball joint lined up. Using a pry bar, pry this down, get the nut started. All right, that's good. Now take the tie rod in, get that lined up in the knuckle. Take the castle nut, get that started. Now we'll tighten up the ball joint. It's just spinning, so we're just going to use a pull jack, raise up on this. Just raise it up, just put a little bit of pressure on it. It doesn't take much. Snug. Now you want to torque this to 37 foot-pounds and then an additional 125 degrees. That's good. If you have a cotter pin and a hole, you want to make sure the castle nut lines up with the cotter pin. If it doesn't line up, tighten it an additional turn until it does line up. Never loosen it to line up the cotter pin. Lower the pull jack. We're going to torque this nut to 26 foot-pounds. And then an additional 85 degrees. There you go. See where the cotter pin hole lines up on the castle nut. If it's not lined up, you want to tighten it a little bit more. Just so it lines up, never loosen it. That's good. Put the cotter pin through. Just use some side cutters. We'll just pull this down, fold that. You can trim the excess and trim the other excess. That's good there. Now we're going to use a pry bar, pry upper control arm down. See, 18mm ratchet wrench. Tighten this nut. Snug that down. It's hard to get a torque wrench in there because there's not a lot of room. If you can, you want to torque that to 37 foot-pounds, and then you want to go an additional 90 degrees. Do the best you can. That's good. Take the wiring harness, we're going to re-secure it. Take this clip, that's going to go into the bracket. Just push that in, clip that in place. And the retainer is going to go into this bracket. That's good. Take the connector, line that up, push that in, push down on the lock, and the retainer is going to line up in the two holes right there. Just push that down in place. That's good. And put the nut on. The spindle nut, tighten that down. Snug that down. We're going to torque the axle nut to 177 foot-pounds. Just going to spray a little anti-seize on the hub surface. Just to slow down corrosion. Slide the rotor in place. Make sure you have the threaded hole lined up with one of those holes. And you put the screw in. Snug that down. And take the caliper off the hanger. Slide it over the rotor. Make sure the pads are spread apart. Get the bolts started. Tighten these down. Torque these to 170 foot-pounds. Now put the wheel on. Get the lug nut started. And snug these down. Now we're going to torque these lug nuts in a cross pattern to 140 foot-pounds. Just go around again, double check.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.